Hey everybody, welcome to Hobby Hangout Wednesday. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Gonna be doing some more painting on our true scale Belial here. Got him right here. Haven't touched him since last time. The only thing I've done is put a matte coat over these guys just before the stream so that we can get to painting right away. So remember last time we were working on our banner here and we put a gloss wash on it at the very end. So I've just gone back and matte coated it so we can put some more paint on there. So the name of the game today is highlights. We're going to get into doing a whole lot of highlights on these two things. Bringing all these colors up, tightening everything in, and try and get as much work done as possible. Still waiting on our bases for the Deathwing Knights from Cool Mini or Not. Don't really know when those are gonna get here. So hopefully sometime soon, maybe before this weekend. Don't know yet, but trying to get those bases in so we can get all the Deathwing Knights knocked out and have those ready to go for any upcoming tournaments. Speaking of tournaments, I'm actually going to be playing a tournament this Sunday, so probably no stream on Sunday because it starts at noon and it goes until about 7. I don't know if I'll be there until 7 or exactly what's going to happen. So if we get done and I have enough time to get back up to the house before the stream is supposed to go live or whatever, then I might do a stream. But because it's going to be a tournament, probably not. No stream on Sunday. Be playing a little bit of everything, doing some kind of Imperium like MASH kind of army. So I'm working on getting my Mordians done. So you can see this is pretty much where the rest of my Mordians are right now. I've got them base coated with the tire black over top of our black and white pre-shade. And so between now and Sunday, I'm going to try to take my guys from here to here for our Mordians. So not a terrible amount of work because most of this is pretty easy to do, especially since these models are like the old metal monopose models. They don't take near as much brushwork as some of the newer models with all of the open spaces and everything. But yeah, so this is how all of our Mordians are going to look. And luckily, that's all I have to paint because everything else I'm using is already painted. So I got to paint like 19 Mordians and 1 tank before Sunday. So probably won't be that bad. I'll be able to get it done pretty easy. And I'll be using my little tune tank from Ming Models. Got it primered. Trying to decide on how I want to paint it. Like if I wanted to just do like a straight color scheme or if I want to do camo or what. So I'm trying to decide on how I want to do that. I'll probably get started on that tomorrow. Doing some painting on that. Get it ready. Bad boy on eBay. Did you get a whole lot of stuff? Cool. So I think it's that's about it for any kind of announcements or anything. So get right in on the painting. It is a Hobby Hangout Wednesday, so the Discord is open. Jack Club's Discord for anybody who wants to jump in and be part of the Hobby Hangout stream. You can hang out, ask questions, talk about stuff, whatever. It doesn't matter because we're just going to be having kind of a chill stream, just like every other Hobby Hangout Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for anybody who wants to join. We're going to get to painting. Gonna start off doing some work on the banner for our first set of highlights. And so first things first, we're just gonna clean up our red a little bit. Just gonna come in with some flat red from model color and thin that way down. and do some really thin coats with it, just kind of clean up our red. And then we'll get into doing highlights on the actual banner colors. Ice Dragon. What all do I play for games? Do you mean just tabletop games? Right now, I have a handful of 40k armies. I'm also invested in some other miniatures games like Infinity and a game called Dark Age. It's made by Cool Mini Not, which is really awesome. So 40k is kind of like the big one because the armies are so much larger, and then Infinity and Dark Age are skirmish games. So those collections are much smaller. But yeah, I really like those games. Infinity is a really great game system. Dark Age is really fun. So I really like playing those. Yeah, I don't play any Star Wars. There is that one Star Wars game that's coming out soon-ish. Their new miniatures game, which looks kind of cool. And I'm kind of waiting to see how that pans out when it gets released. Because it is a brand new game system, and it seems like all of the advertising on it has been for like the starter set. And I want to see what some of their other releases are going to be like for models, like if they're going to do all the specialty stormtroopers and that kind of thing, all that fun stuff. But yeah, as far as miniatures games, 40k and Infinity and Dark Age is the only things that I'm invested in right now. And I really don't get to play much Infinity or Dark Age just because the group here where I live for Infinity is not very good. And the Dark Age group is kind of on hiatus right now. I do play some video games. I don't play a lot of video games though. I play a lot of MechWarrior Online. And Destiny 2 came out for PC yesterday, so I was playing some of that yesterday. Oh, some white armored orcs. I think that'll work out well, man. If you just execute it good, it'll look good. Beast War website, yeah. Because the game itself looks cool, but I want to see the game post-release and see what their what other types of models they come out with. Because right now all their advertising for sale when it releases is going to be the starter set. So I want to see what other models they come out with. Red's getting nice and cleaned up. Looks much better now. Red playing 40k? Mostly Imperium. I do have a Death Guard army. I mean, like, as far as like across the board, like I have owned, painted, and played every single faction in 40k except for Tyranids at one point or another across the years. Right now, what I have is I've got like 1,000 points in different stuff. So I have like 1,000 points of Ultramarines, 1,000 points of Grey Knights. I've got 1,000 points of Space Sharks. I've got some Imperial Guard. I have a Death Guard army, including Mortarion and some other stuff. But I played just about everything in the 40k stuff. I played some fantasy back in the day. Not so much into fantasy right now. I don't have anything against Age of Sigmar. It's just I've always been a sci-fi person. Like that's just where my interest has always been with wargaming. So I find it really hard to get motivated about painting fantasy type stuff. And back in 8th edition of fantasy, I had a Skaven army that was really big, and I only ever had to paint maybe like one block of unit, like one unit block, and the big rat god avatar model they have, because I bought like a painted army on eBay that was done by some commission studio over in China, so it looked really good, and I got it for a cheap price. But all I ever painted was like, I think, a unit of storm vermin and the deceiver, because that model kit makes like 4 or 5 different variants of that giant rat god dude. And I did the deceiver because back in the day it was really good. It did a lot of really cool stuff. It could like teleport itself around the battlefield. Had this really cool like throwing star thing that was really powerful. Because it used to make a number of shooting attacks equal to the number of models in a rank of its target. So if you were facing like a giant block of orcs that were I don't know, in like ranks of 10 or 20, you would make like a lot of shooting attacks with that throwing star, and it was really dirty because what you would do is you would cast the spell on himself and he would teleport right behind the big giant block, and then he would make a shooting attack and you'd get like a flank bonus from hitting him from the rear. So it was really, really powerful, and then you could get off a rear charge in your charge phase, and he could, on his next magic phase, he could cast the spell on himself even if he was in combat, so you could teleport out of combat with like no negative modifiers or anything. Oh, you play some Nids, G-Stealer? Yeah, Tyranids is like the one army that I've just never been motivated to buy into.
They got Necrons for both don't take them on pickle.
I've played Necrons once. I had 2,000 points of Necrons, and I liked it. I mean, they were alright. Alright. Our red's cleaned up. get into doing some highlights here. So first off, I'm going to get out our matte black because I need to paint in some stuff. What do I use to travel with my minis? I have a couple of cases. I have a GW ARD case, like apostrophe ARD, however they want to say it. An ARD case that I got last year at Adepticon. And I used that case for all of my Dark Age and Infinity stuff because I can fit everything in there. And then for 40k, I have a couple of really cheap battle foam cardboard cases with foam in them that I use. But I'm probably going to end up getting an actual case for them before I travel to Adepticon. I've seen people do that before. Scotty no knows. Some of the miniatures cases that people sell are a little overpriced for what they are. So I have seen some people do the repurposing of the gun cases.
She came to me in robes of white in the corner of my room, a specter of the night, silhouetted by the moon. We're floating fast over traffic lights, bearing down on blackened sky, and colors burst as I close my eyes. Ooh, and she said, lay me down in golden dandelions, 'cause I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Follow me into the dark. And she said, lay me down in golden dandelions.
Billy Buzzbomb. It's the average learning curve duration for learning the airbrush minis. It's actually really short. It's super, super short. It does not take very long to figure out how to use an airbrush. To figure out how to do like really good looking, like super tight airbrush highlights, things like that, where you get those really nice color fades. That takes a little bit of practice, but the only way to really like pick up airbrushing is to just do it, to practice, do it over and over and over again, learn the ins and outs of your airbrush, how it sprays, what the aim is like, how it behaves, that kind of thing. And then just practicing like over and over and over again, just like kind of figuring out which colors go together in those color gradients. But it's like figuring out how to just like use one and throw down like a really clean prime job and a really clean base coat. It's like super short. Alright, now we're going to get out some uniform gray. We're going to highlight all these black rocks. Especially now with like all of the visual aids and guides and everything on the internet, it's a really fast process. Oh, we watched Mech Warrior. Yeah, Mech Warrior is a really fun game. Can you customize your suit? I know what you're talking about because I'm also a fan of Gundam. Yeah, there's all sorts of different camo specs you can put on the mech chassis. Your loadout is really customizable. Your weapons loadout is probably the most customizable. But there's decals you can put on there, camo patterns. There's stuff you can put in your cockpit like war horns. So whenever you get a kill, it'll like blare off a little sound, whatever the war horn is supposed to sound like. All sorts of little stuff like that.
Talking about mechs? Sorry, I had to step away.
Yeah, he was asking if they were customizable.
Oh, yeah. Just wait until you play with a clan mech. Switch out the omnipods.
As far as like visual customization though, really it's like camo. Would you put a different loadout on the mech? Like the barrels of the guns and the missiles and stuff like that will be different depending on what your loadout is. So it like visually represents what you're equipped with. But like if you're talking about putting like cosmetic like attachments onto the mech, like there's no like spikes or anything like that. Like it's all camouflage and decals. No, it's not like it's not like Gundam Breaker kind of customization. It's it's a little different. Yeah, not like that. Like you get a mech chassis. That's the mech chassis that you play with, and you can put different camouflage and stuff, and like paint on there, and decals, and weapons. But the chassis itself doesn't change. H Weight, thanks for that follow. Appreciate you. Just bringing in this green really thin. Nice soft highlight for our cloth here. And this is the same green that we used to base coat this before the black wash. Got a nice even color. Random72 with that sub. That's a resub for 2 months. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, it's been going pretty good, man. Working on our true scale Belial here. Got all of our highlights done on the banner. Just doing some initial highlights on most of these colors that we've blocked in. Getting these greens locked in. Okay. I'm gonna go mix a little bit of scorpion green into here. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Love minis, what's up? The reason I'm doing this so thin is because when it initially goes on, it's really vibrant, but then as it dries, it dulls down a little bit and it helps the colors kind of fade together. Like that there. Liver Puncher 7, thanks for that follow. And then, if you want to go, damn it, fucking drawers. Go up even further, make your colors even smoother. Can bust out some of this Waywatcher glaze from Games Workshop and kind of brush a few light layers of that over everything. And it'll help everything kind of mesh together. Minch J, what's up? Okay, let's let that dry out. Got some more of our flat red here. Start highlighting out these red bits. Stupid thing. There we go. Have red nice and highlight it up. Do that again on our shoulder here. TeamSpeak, it's a private server voice chat service, kind of like Discord, but a little bit better. People mostly use it for gaming. Okay. Do this sword here. Oh, thank you for that liver punch. Appreciate you. We're trying to do on the shoulder there. Good highlight. Bring this over to the Storm Bolter casing. Okay. And I think that's all the red. Oh man, Ventrilo. Ventrilo brings me back. Way back. Oh, hey, what's up, Aaron? Thank you. You know, just painting white. Hating my life right now. Alright. We got our whites down pretty good. Miss Shay, no, it's not. It's a true scale. Yeah, this is a true scale Terminator. He's a big boy. All right. Just time we got left? About a half hour. Okay. Start doing these purity seals. What? What? No, I'm streaming right now. Elric, what's up, man? How's it going? Ultra Ravens Wolf, thanks for that follow. Oh no, that was a sub. I'm sorry. Thank you for that sub. I really appreciate that. Enjoy that Jack Clubs emote. Oh, okay, Elric, I got you. Okay, get her golds. Golds highlighted up. Gold's looking great. Scale metals are the way to go. See you, love minis. We can highlight up some of our metals too. Find my black metal. And make sure to put my hand in wet paint. Let's see. Rhyme. On the whole model, yeah, everything on this model has been washed, but we're doing our highlights, so we're cleaning it up. Use a GW wash. On some parts, for the armor, I used an army painter wash. It's a little bit cleaner, but I still use GW washes for some stuff. If you wanted to do something similar, you could get you their Agrax Earthshade gloss and do some of that on there so it's just as clean, and then you have to matte coat it back. Camera do I use? The one for the desk is a Logitech C920, and the one, this one is a 550 or 55 or something. I don't know. It's a cheaper one. I don't even think the face cam shoots in full HD because, I mean, like, you don't need it. Got 10 minutes. Trying to find one of my brighter golds. Yeah. Elven gold is what we want. Just want to get a little bit of this kind of half-assed dry brush on here, just so it kind of gets a better realistic shine going on with the golds. barely any on there. There we go. Like polished gold. Yeah, you have to fiddle with some of the settings because it doesn't like it can broadcast in 1080p by 1920, like 1920 by 1080, which is what you want for the miniatures, like for getting a picture that's really good. And for whatever reason, the basic setting isn't that. It's at like 720 or like 850 or some like weird halfway resolution, and you have to go in to the OBS settings and put a custom do custom resolution or something like that to get it to be the right resolution, or else you're gonna have not as good of a picture. Little dry brush on our steel there to get it back to shine. Oh, I can go ahead and do a little bit more actually while I've got it out. Back of this banner pole just a little bit. Go. Pandora, what are you doing? Why you quit playing music? All right. So we're getting there. Definitely getting there. A lot of stuff is ready for edge highlighting. Still got to come in and do a few things. Still got to do his face. Got to get some highlights on this rubber and the seals, like the joints. I think that's about it. Then we can go into edge highlighting because everything needs to be edge highlighted, like the banner. Everything on this guy still needs to be edge highlighted. The armor, all that kind of stuff. But we're just about ready for that. I think before we get out of here, I'm gonna put another little gloss wash on these wings just to help the feathers be more defined. I'm gonna use the finger eraser here to pull it off of the flats. doing. If we finish him, and I still need to like paint some stuff before the tournament on Sunday, we'll probably work on some of that. Maybe I'll airbrush the tank on Saturday when we get done with him, just so we don't have any dead time. And like I said, I'll be at a tournament on Sunday, so no stream on Sunday because I will be at the tournament. I'll try to do some check-ins. Maybe I'll see if I'll get my phone and maybe I can like go live on Twitch for a few minutes, like, and film some of the games or something. We'll see what the internet is like when I get down there. But yeah, he's getting pretty close to being finished, so I'm liking where he's at. Gotta touch up some stuff. Still got a couple of highlights left to do, like these feathers, and we gotta airbrush his sword, but the airbrush and the sword won't take very long. So that's gonna be like the main thing that we do on Saturday. It's gonna be airbrushing the sword and doing some edge highlights on everything, getting him finished. Ultra Ravens Wolf, thanks for that cheer. Alright. Thanks everybody for coming out. Really appreciate all the new faces, all the new follows, a couple of new subs. Always appreciate that. Thanks guys so much, guys and gals. Alright, so we're going to throw a host out like normal. Wait for the host to go out, then jump over to their channel. Tell them I sent you. Spam with those Jack Clubs emotes if you got them. Going to go pay this guy a visit. He's kind of new here in the Twitch creatives. So I will see you guys on Saturday at the normal time.